You are now listening to the new Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time at bringdowntheband.com, and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, Printfinity, Indie CD and Vinyl, and Sun King Brewery. Support the new Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
You are now tuned in to the new Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. The entire crew is here. Voice of Indianapolis, a.k.a. Mr. Wavy light-skinned girls be loving me now. I might bring that back this year. My man Jay Moore, how are you, sir?
Doing well on it's inauguration week. So, a lot of things are happening in the world. So it's, be careful in them streets. You just never know who you are around. I'm just letting you know that now.
Hey,
truth.
You preaching to the choir. You preaching to the choir, brother. Left of him on my scoreboard or my screen. My man DJ Jay Diff. What's happening, man?
Salutations. What's going on?
Oh man, I can't call it. Everything good your way?
Yeah, man. Just living life. Life is living. And just like Jay Moore said, we on the eve of this inauguration.
Yeah.
Hopefully Muggs gonna be out here acting the damn fool.
Shit, tonight's a
This
celebration.
is what I was talking about. Y'all should have been locked and loaded. I was trying to prepare everybody for this.
This is what it was for.
This is what it was for.
I give credit when it's due, my brother. You were ahead of the curve on that ammunition. I tell you one thing, I ain't gonna put no names out there, but I have a friend of mine that has a musket. He is locked and loaded. Live from the bringing down the bed headquarters with my lamp resides, my man Lonegevity. How are you, sir?
Man, you need to calm down about the lamp,
I'm chilling. You speak things into existence. That's what LeVar Ball say. I'm just gonna keep saying it.
Yeah, well, maybe you should do that on your own time. About the lamp. You know what I mean? So it's my lamp.
You good? Are you good, man? How's everything with you?
Yeah, I'm great. Feeling okay. Not too shabby.
Good.
Tonight's I saw shouts to TJ Reynolds. I saw him tweet today. Is like today's the last day that we're gonna go to sleep and wake up the next day as Trump is a president. So
that's tough. That's what we call tough.
Hey, it's crazy because it's still some of his supporters stating that Biden's not going to get sworn in and something's about to go down.
Yeah,
hey,
I mean,
I don't believe that shit. Don't get me wrong, but it's just funny to see.
I don't believe it either. I don't believe it either. But I have a pretty good chance that there will be some example of foolishness. Tomorrow, and I don't know where it's going to come from, but something stupid will happen. I just hope nobody's hurt, and they can just remove, said stupid person as soon as possible, because there's going to be people showing out in all 50 states somewhere at some point. I just hope it's nothing crazy, man. But and again, they ran into the Capitol, so tell them what can happen. I just hope everybody stay out the way, and just let that blow over, because it will get. I think it's going to get ignorant before it gets better.
It's a revolution.
Let's go ahead and jump into the rundown for today. Oh, I gotta shout the chat out too. Shout out to the chat. Y'all are live. Waffle House Pimp, we see you, boy, back in the game. DJ Corey T, what's happening, man? My East Coast family. Nate Jeezy, East Coast family, what's happening? Nicole is in the building. One of the regulars is here. The Flood, I see you. No Mathis, what's happening? I think E was in here as well. I see you. Appreciate y'all. D Frog was popping. Howdy Pie, what's good? Yeah, we appreciate y'all, man. Hope everybody's still in here as we are getting it cracking with the topics. So let's see. So the topic of President Trump trying to go out with a bang with pardons came up, and Wayne was one of the first people in the hip hop community that came up that says he may be in line for a pardon from Trump. It says sources familiar with the matter who spoke. Sources familiar with the matter that the president that neither the president himself nor Trump's personal lawyer Rudy Giuliani. Side note: did y'all see him draped up and dripped out on that meme? Did y'all see that?
No.
With the hair coloring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It was a while ago, but I never brought it up on here. But that shit was real nasty, man. I thought I'd throw it out there. But they're saying Wayne might be on the pardon list. What do y'all think about that, man? Because Wayne, he was going through the process and everything. My questions are, do you think it's pardon, quote unquote, pardonless, even if it includes Wayne and other people? To me, that is a sign of scrambling. It's not going to change, how people look at the president, especially even if Wayne is involved or any other cultural figure from hip hop or whatever is involved. How do y'all feel about the idea of him doing that on the last day coming out and possibility of Wayne being freed? Like, just what's your general reaction when you see that article? Like, what comes to mind first? I'll come to you first. What do you think about that? You read it. Wayne might be pardoned by President Trump on his last day out.
As far as Trump's concerned, man, I don't know. It's pretty standard practice, realistically, for presidents to pardon a bunch of people, kind of like before they go out. Okay. In a way. I mean, at least the last few presidents, at least. As far as Lil Wayne, and does he deserve one? I mean, he's been, if I remember correctly, the issue that he's running into is that he was caught recently with somewhere with a gun that he said was a gift, a Father's Day gift or something, but the reason why he couldn't have a gun was because he was already had a charge against him from something that happened from his tour bus in like 2005 or 6 or 7 or something like that. So
that's what he went to jail for 2
right.
years.
So then it comes into question, like what does, was his initial charge like kind of bullshit or not, and does this help him out in that manner? I mean, honestly, I don't know. I haven't paid much attention to Wayne, know if this is like worthwhile or not. I think most of the pardons that Trump has been giving off has just been for his buddies, The thing that I'm interested about is like, why is this why Lil Wayne like supported him? Because he wanted a pardon?
There we go.
Is that why?
There we go.
Or,
there we go.
I don't know. So I don't know.
It's not far-fetched to me. Not.
I don't know. Like, can they? Yeah, there's in the chat talking about Joe Exotic. Yeah, there's been rumors that Joe Exotic's been like potentially going to be pardoned, or they're at least advocating for it. They just announced too. I just made a video on it that Michael Harris, Harry-O from Death Row, got pardoned apparently today. So that actually apparently did go through. I mean, from everything that I was reading. So. I mean, I heard rumors of Kodak Black being pardoned. Like, I don't like. What are we doing? I don't know. So
what are we doing? What are we doing?
what are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, I'll let you chime in.
But free. Talk to me, Jay Diff.
I mean, I still wouldn't put it past Wayne to actually support Donald Trump. To be honest with you, but
without the pardon?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
He when all the Black Lives Matter stuff was going on and stuff, and he acted like he didn't know what it was, and pretty much downplaying racism because he's rich, I'm rich, I got money, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So,
ma'am.
Yeah. So, yeah, I if it was a payment for Lil Wayne for supporting him or backing him, I get that too. I mean, more power to him. But this is the person. I'm so surprised that like every presidential term, when it comes to an end, somebody that should have been pardoned a long time ago, name come up and they're never free, and that would be Larry Hoover. Like Larry Hoover has literally been in jail for I don't know how long, and if anybody deserves to be pardoned, would be that man. I'm just saying that would make more sense to me. I mean, he's saving Lil Wayne from possibly doing a 10-year bid or something, because he would pretty much have to do whatever's left over on his on the last one he did, But I don't know. A Larry Hoover pardon would make so much more sense to me. I'm just saying.
Or maybe Edward.
That's
Snowden.
too much like right. That's too much like right. What you say, Long?
Snowden, maybe. Whistleblowers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they ain't letting that out, because that probably affected some money or something for him somewhere. He ain't letting nobody out like that.
He's still a child. He's still got a child's mentality at the end of the day. So and just fold his lips up and pout and be like, I don't want. On second thought, I don't want to pardon you, and just not do it. Like that's literally how
some of his
move. Like
some of his homies, I don't think are getting pardoned. What
I don't
was the
think so
dude's
either.
name? Looked like he had a perm. Can't remember what his name is.
I can't call a dude's name.
What's that
I wish I
dude's
could pull a
name?
picture up, but because he definitely had that process for sure.
Yeah, he looked like he had a perm, but I don't think he's letting him off. I mean, it seems like everybody's turning on him, or he's turning on them, vice versa. Like
A little bit of both.
yeah, like Giuliani. I heard him and Giuliani are having problems now.
It's because he told him he wasn't going to pay him.
He didn't
Yeah,
get that
Mitch
paper.
McConnell. Mitch McConnell's throwing him up under the bus. I mean, don't get me wrong, we still don't like Mitch McConnell regardless.
Nah,
But
he
he's
can
definitely
get the
throwing
fuck
Trump
outta
under the
here.
bus right now. A few
That's
other
one
people too.
He's a funny looking dude, man.
Yeah,
But
he
him
is.
between him and Giuliani being draped up and dripped out, some weird. They little look a little strange. More, how
I mean,
does this make you feel, man, when you hear about the possibility?
Well, it's not surprising. A lot of these pardons seem to be for sale, which is pretty much on brand for Donald Trump. When President Obama went through and pardoned a bunch of people, it was a lot of people who were in jail for longer than they should have been for nonviolent drug offenses. If Donald Trump does pardon Lil Wayne, he wouldn't, and the Flood brought this up in the chat, he wouldn't be the first rapper to get pardoned by a Republican president, because George W. Bush pardoned John Forte of the refugee camp, after he got sentenced to basically life for having like 2 suitcases full of liquid cocaine at JFK. So I'll never forget. And that was something that really didn't get a lot of press, but I was like, George W. Bush pardoned John Forte back in the day. But Lil Wayne, I think is different, because Lil Wayne came out and took that picture in that weird cardigan sweater or whatever with Donald Trump, hoping in the last moments that would sway enough hip hop voters to maybe bring an election victory home to Donald Trump. And I don't care. And you know what? Am I really mad at him? I don't want to see any black man in jail, especially if I feel like he's been targeted unfairly by federal authorities. But at the same time, I can't really get with you tap dancing for white supremacists for your freedom.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess everybody has to do what they have to do. I'm not surprised by any of this.
Well said.
If say Kodak, like if he starts really, saying Kodak Black, and you already have Harry O and Harry O had been in jail since it seemed like he's been
in there for
like
30
years of a 19-year sentence.
He's been in there for a minute. Yeah, he's been in there for a minute.
But I've heard so many other names like, Bill Cosby to C Murder. I've heard all these names
Bill
people trying to
Cosby.
bring up, but who's going to get out? Yeah, exactly.
They gonna make Bill
but I'm
Cosby.
just like,
Bill Cosby gonna earn that 3 or whatever it was.
I'm just saying, like, the pardons that are at the front of the line are for, well, partially I've heard he's going to try to preemptively pardon himself and his children, and the people who have been his enablers over the last 4 years. So those people are at the front of the line. I know it's made for good TMZ headlines for Lil Wayne to get his and by the time this hits all the DSPs on Thursday, I might be proven wrong, but like I wouldn't be surprised, for everybody who's watching this live, I wouldn't be surprised if Lil Wayne gets left off of the list, because I don't think Trump in a real hurry to take a picture with Lil Wayne, and and then when he did it and it didn't bear any fruit as far as a presidential victory for him, like he was like, the part of the deal was I was supposed to win. And so
let me look in the chat.
But
I
at the
want to look
same
in the
time,
chat.
Lil Wayne has money to pay for his pardon. Lil Wayne has money to pay for his
definitely got that bread.
So
He definitely got that bread.
So perhaps he's paid for his pardon.
Let me see. Nate Jeezy says Mitch McConnell looked like he died in the late 90s. That's tough. That's tough. Let's see what else we got. Can we free Mumia already? DJ Corey. Snowden getting looking crazy Russian loving. Look, man, I'm not about to do this with you, Corey T. I appreciate the comments, man. Joe Exotic will find his way back to a jail cell soon enough. DJ Nate Jeezy. Man,
He
y'all,
make for
y'all,
good
y'all
TV. He gonna
break
get out and shoot Netflix ratings all the way up. They about to win the HBO war.
They'll definitely give him a bag and put him out there and have him acting a fool. So we'll see. If I had to take a guess, I say like Jay Moore said, it could be a possibility that just stays in there, but it'll be something we can talk about next week. So
I mean, in the same token though, you know, with Harry O getting out, we know Snoop didn't fuck with Trump. Snoop didn't went vocal all over social media talking about fuck Trump, this, that, and the third. Yeah. And he went to bat for Harry O to get out, and he let him out. So,
apparently it wasn't directly through Snoop. It was through because I just looked this up. I just made a video on it, but it was through somebody named Alice Johnson, who's a criminal defense activist, and
so
she
it was a
actually
Kim Kardashian type of smoke screen.
It was like them. Snoop reached out to somebody else who just got pardoned last month, and that So it wasn't like a direct Snoop correlation to Trump. It was like Snoop to somebody else to somebody else. But yeah,
I see.
Yeah, Lil Wayne might be getting his catfish fried hard dreads twisted up in the penitentiary. Then
is he actually scheduled to go to jail?
Nah, but it's known that I mean he's guilty of it, so he's got some back time he's gonna have to do once that conviction comes through.
Yeah, he's gonna have to sit down, and you know that them dreads, they pretty much like whiting at this point. So you said, Terry, they're gonna be braiding that hard. They're gonna be braiding that whiting up in there.
Yeah, fried hard.
That is definitely whiting fried hard. Shout out to whiting if you want to try some good fish. Get you some whiting. I don't know from where. You have to ask Jay Moore that because he still eat fried whiting. But
I mean, you ought to know where to find you a nice whiting meal. Though.
I can find
some shrimp butt. You can go to Williamson's. Come on now, act like you've been in the city a little while.
Come on, man. Who says Indianapolis got the best whiting? No, it might be in Chicago.
I didn't. We didn't say nothing about best. You said where to find whiting.
Now he mad. Now he mad.
There go that only child syndrome.
Now he mad. Now he mad. Now you want to fight. All right, let's go to the next topic, man. Let's see. So Hip Hop DX actually finally released the article because I saw this happening yesterday. There was actually an article to finally reference that popped up earlier today, but I don't know if y'all saw it, but I saw it in real time. Someone was getting dragged on Twitter yesterday. Sampling
Timbaland,
however you want to say it.
Timbaland,
the shoe guy.
Timbo. Hey, shout out to Tim. No, we can't say that because they didn't give us a check yet. But there was a Twitter account by someone named Mariah. I may not have pronounced that right. Not sure who she is, but I quoted her in this article. They didn't give me any background on her, but she kicked off the chatter saying everyone knows Timbaland, a master of his craft. She captioned a post. Did you know 3 hits sampled these Arabic classics? To hear more about the Middle Eastern influence on Western mainstream music, once was called a belly dance music, head over to my Plus One radio show on SoundCloud. I'm looking at the picture. She's younger, and this started a whole spark of people putting up comments. Timbaland really stole, copy paste from Middle Eastern music, and I really thought this nigga was a genius. Wow. Let's see another one. Let me see if I'm following along. So people are trying to discredit Timbaland for sampling songs that became classic records in the 90s and 2000s, but they haven't a clue that most of today's songs sample records from the 90s and 2000s. It's a good one there. It says Twitter doesn't know what sampling is, and they're canceling actual Timbaland because of it. I put the dead emojis. So I couldn't first thing that came to my mind when I saw this was, what is the age group of the people that are having this conversation? Because to me, even on the ground level, first day of college, or first day of high school, 101, basic bottom level of hip hop, sampling has been happening. If you just start at the ground floor, sampling has been happening. And I don't know if this is drop the ball in our generation. I don't know if people are just they don't care about the culture that they get 1 million views in and the media immediately start putting music out in. I don't know what the hell is going on, but there's no reason for Timbaland to be getting dragged for sampling. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen on Twitter. I just throw it out to y'all, man. Like, what's happening here? Why are these types of conversations happening, man? Is it a generational thing? Did the OGs drop the ball? I'm confused because this is hip hop 101 to me, in my personal opinion. You got to know that all these producers and songs that you've loved for years have been sampled. At some point, you have to know that. Or am I wrong? Jay Diff, talk to me, man. Because maybe I'm the old head and I'm hating, but this is 101 level shit to me.
Man, it should be common knowledge on a lot of this shit, man. It's dinner stupidity at its finest, because anybody knows anything about hip hop knows that one of the I wouldn't say it's an element, but it's definitely a source of the sound of hip hop is sampling, and it's been that since the very beginning. I'm feeling like some of these cats' parents maybe not have sat them down and explained to them this is how it's done and this is hip hop, and sometimes people borrow this and kind of use that to make the sound or whatnot. I don't know, man. It's mad weird to me. But the young lady that posted the video, I don't think she was posting the video to clown Timbaland or whatnot.
Not at all.
I think she was just showing
I don't
that
think so either.
These were the samples. And
well,
then the other
she was
people
showing where they were from.
Right. Yeah, that's all she was doing. And then the other people took it and ran with it like, I thought
that's when it got bad.
Shit up. But in the same token, the way he chopped it and did whatever he did to it is musicality in itself. I mean, and Timbaland has tracks where he ain't sampled shit, but like cricket noises and claps and
Talk to him.
So I mean, you can't take shit away from Timbaland from a producer point of view at all. Like I said, I think it has something to do with how these kids are raised and they're not listening with the right ears or something. I don't know.
Now let's not get it twisted though. Let's not get it twisted though.
I don't want to say it because I'm gonna be.
I'm gonna say it. We've definitely heard stories of Timbaland straight biting producers and not giving them credit for it.
Oh, Lone. Let's talk about it then. Let's talk about it then.
We have definitely heard this.
Let's talk about
it. I think maybe part that might be being left off a little bit. Now Timbaland's a legend. Let's get that straight from the jump. But there have been rumors of Timbaland doing the same exact thing that they were talking about today, but not giving credit. There's a Norwegian producer that came out years ago. I remember him talking about it. And another thing that's interesting is Timbaland's specific. Like when people talk about Timbaland that know hip hop, your first instinct is to think, "Oh, Timbaland is the dope producer that doesn't sample." That's what people
initially
think about.
That is correct. That is correct.
That's the initial thing. Correct. So when people hear that, oh, Timbaland was actually listening to this Indian music that was really a market that was really highly untapped in hip hop, and he was taking these things, and granted, he was clearing the samples, I'm guessing. And he was replaying
and making them work well, though. And making them work well, I might add.
He had a song called Indian Flute.
Yeah. So
sample one of them songs.
But I guess what I'm saying is that like the stigma that I don't want this, or the nuance that gets left out is that there's definitely Timbaland's got this thing behind him that he's the guy that doesn't sample. Right. And we all know that he has sampled, but he is that producer. Him, Pharrell being another person. They don't need a sample to make hits. It's a little bit different than the Premiers and the Kanye's and the Pete Rocks and and everything like that.
Hey, Dilla.
Yeah, which Dilla was original too, though. So
a lot of people don't know.
So yeah, that's that part. I just wanted to kind of throw that in there, Jay. I'll let you kind of chime in because I have another part of this that I kind of want to talk about too, but. I'll wait.
Don't lose that idea though, because I want to come back to you, Lone, on that. Because got it down or something. Because I feel like you got a bar. Go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry.
Well, it's like stuff pops up ever so often on Twitter and in these social media conversations where they think they got somebody, like, oh, gotcha.
Right.
And it's like, look, man, look, I realize you guys do not buy CDs anymore, and that there aren't inserts that show you, this song sampled by an interpolation by, like, so what you almost see is gotcha culture isn't anything that someone my age is tripping over, because we read the credits of actual albums that we went to the store to buy, and we saw where, this was used under so-and-so license, or this was, a portion of this was played by. So I knew, that the songs that Timbaland had sampled, because, I knew people who would make break tapes of the stuff from popular records at the time, so none of this is a surprise to me. But you know what, you got a new generation of like 15-year-old weirdos who think they get on the internet and they just discovered something for the first time, and they're just like the Christopher Columbus of some of this shit. And
that's a bar right there. That's a bar right there.
That's a bar.
Credit.
That's a bar.
And it's like, hello, there was somebody here before you. It sort of reminds me, and this is sort of a stretch, but I remember a friend of mine was teaching when Street Fighter 4 came out on 360, Xbox 360 back in the day, and he was teaching math in this high school, and he said, okay, anybody that can beat me in Street Fighter 4, you don't have to take the final. And they're like, oh, what do you know about that, Mr. So-and-so? We gonna serve you in this. And he beat each and every one of them kids, and they all had to take the final. And he said, well, how do you know how to play this so well? This is a new game, and he said, this is Street Fighter 4. I've been playing this since it was Street Fighter 2 in the arcades, which you don't know nothing about because you've always played video games at home. And that's kind of where we are with a lot of quote unquote young hip hop fans, is like they think when they discover something, despite the fact that it was Street Fighter 4, they in their minds it was the first Street Fighter ever released. And they're good at it. They don't realize the basic mechanics of this video game have been around for 20 to 25 years at this point. So of course somebody older is going to beat your ass at this game. So I think that's where we are with a lot of young hip hop fans who think they're really, really doing something when they discover samples. It was like, no, first of all, you're not even. First of all, if you thought you was doing that, you're snitching. Now you're not even snitching because once again, we read liner notes and you don't. So I just think it's just a lot of bullshit going on with younger people looking for clout and not understanding that you're not telling us anything that we don't know.
Jump in. I don't want you to lose. I don't want you to lose your point of thought from before.
I got two of them, man. I got two of them now. I mean,
talk to him on that snitching, please.
There's a whole generation of younger producers right now, and this bothers me. And maybe it shouldn't bother me because I try not to let shit bother me. But
oh no, man, we'll see.
With the era of who sampled, and the era of people in YouTube comments, and maybe some of y'all are guilty of that are watching right now. It's all right. It's never too late to get right with yourself. But to jump into like a comment and be like, what's the sample? Like, stop sharing samples. Like the goal is for it to be like mysterious. Like think about all the legends out there that put out all these records back in the day, and they were rare records, right? Now all of a sudden they're starting to become popularized because of the digital era and everything shared. And now what's going to happen is we're going to see some of our hip hop legends getting sued because everybody's out here wanting to share samples and telling all this stuff. Like stop it. Like go do your own research. Go dig your own samples. Go find your own ways to find, like, do your own work on that stuff.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah, unfortunately, crate digging. I said crate digging doesn't exist like it used to back in the day. Everything is so easily accessible that it makes it, like you said, very easy. All they got to do is put in a search engine and find that sample. Whereas people were literally putting in work, going state to state, even country to country to find these albums and make these beats with and flipping them and getting the clearances. And then you got other people coming right behind them. Nowadays, telling, pretty much giving a source of. So I'm definitely on that one.
Mike, Major, real quick, do you know
Yes,
how many times I've heard the record that you flipped for Ill Brown's Where the Bar's At since you flipped that record?
Yeah.
I've heard it 3 different times now. The same chop.
The one with
Once
Wale,
last week.
The one with Wale on it. One with Wale that you put me on to. I scratched my head and I was like,
It's like the
I don't
same
know.
exact chop.
They may have heard Where Your Bar's At. I was like, they might have heard that somewhere because it's literally the same thing, to your point.
Same thing. I've heard that same chop like 3 different times though since you guys put that record out.
There are there's a documentary that talks about producers that used to meet up at there was a hotel in New York. Pete Rock, Q-Tip.
Yep.
I think Q-Tip was one telling the story where they all used to meet up. And
Yep.
Kid Capri was upstairs. He spent the night before, and they all would go there searching for breaks at a hotel.
I show that video in
about?
my production class that I teach. I show that video.
Those guys took pride in really going to grab records before the next person. Like they're literally standing side by side going in these bins. And it's like that part of the culture is so sacred. Like Lone has had stuff. There's been times between me and him where I'll be like, what's that? And like he'll just look at me and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's happened. I mean, you know, I show him what I sampled or whatever, but there's been times where it's like he'll be like, you don't know nothing about that, and just he'll keep talking. Like it's like that sometimes. Some of these
whole
joints
culture.
that people, some of these joints that people find and dig, like they are obscure for a reason, and somebody did a lot of digging to get it. But now, you know, you can YouTube, get it on the MP3, and get the chopping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I get it. I get the culture changes, man. I get that it changes, you know what I mean? But that's part of it. Like I still kind of frown at it every time I see somebody say, hey, and even on bringing down the band stuff, like songs we show, somebody pop in the comments, be like, yo, what's the sample? And I almost just want to like go off every time, but I'm just like, just ignore it. But
it's just crazy because to me, when I was coming up, I wanted to, like, if I knew something was sampled, it made me want to go back and start listening to that genre of music. Like, for example, when Dre started chopping up Parliament Funkadelic and stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. That's how I just wanted to listen to that shit. I wanted to listen and learn it though. It wasn't about they sampled it, that's cheating. I just want to learn where the source was coming from.
Yeah.
Well, Terry, that might be a generational thing because I was having shout out to Nate Jeezy too, because he definitely stunned on me in the chat. I did make that beat in his basement when I did 100%. Definitely made that beat. With Terry, with what you were talking about, like that could be a cultural thing, it could be an era thing, because those break beats, I did the same thing. Like it wasn't about you know, don't nobody want to hear that old shit. It was like, yo, what is this? Like when I heard the sample for Cream, I'm like, all right, what is this? Like who did RZA sample? Like they have some heat, like other than the breaks, like is the music good? And like when some of those samples that we used to hear, like the B-sides were cold, and it got me off into a whole nother lane about the actual artist, wanting to hear what they got just to listen to. And I got put on the music that way. Maybe that's generational. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's different.
I think it's just different. I think it's just different. I think it's just different, man. I think the ways that we had to do it back then has just changed. And I know I was being a little critical, but I mean, I get that everything's changed a little bit and how easy access is for everybody to do it now, but I just think it's different. Like we didn't have that option, you know, like we didn't have that option 20 years ago to be, or, you know, 15 years ago, you know, even to like look this stuff up. There wasn't a who sampled, you know what I mean? There wasn't a YouTube, you know, it was like literally looking at credits. I remember looking at the Kill Bill soundtrack, finding all the artists on there, and the featured artists, and I just researched and just went down a whole rabbit hole and found all those dudes and ladies. But the other thing that I was going to say on this was it was a comment by Marco Polo, and we're all familiar with Marco Polo, right? I'm almost certain probably everybody in chat is as well. You know, he's a dope producer, and he's definitely a sample producer, and we have a lot of sample producers. And classic producers that seem to be a little biased towards sample production. And my thing is this, or my question is, Do you consider hip hop music that is made without samples to be less hip hop?
No.
Oh,
I've never
throw that out.
felt like
Throw it out to the chat too. Let's throw it out to the chat too. What do y'all say it again, Long? Make sure you said that I want to make sure they heard that
Well,
clear.
do you consider hip hop music that's made without samples to be less hip hop? Because I hate to go into this like elitist category, right? But a lot of times you'll see it from the legends that, typically speaking, they only do sample or they only can sample. Like they don't have any original stuff. They'll be like, nah, sampling is this great fundamental, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it almost comes from an angle of like, why are you clowning on dope hip hop that is original? In the same, like as a defense, a lot of times as a defense for people that are going at sample hip hop, it's like, nah, they're both valid. Like you don't have to take one down just to big the other one up. You know what I mean?
right.
But I've noticed that quite a bit.
Okay.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
when you
it's
think
Hey,
about
Jay Moore, I'm
that one. I don't think it's either which way.
No, I think
What you,
about a group like
go
the
ahead, Jay Moore.
Roots, who has, I mean, and they've used samples before, but, when I'm thinking about, organics through really 𝐀𝐿 𝗀𝗱 𝗛𝗲 and things fall apart. Like there's a few samples, but not a lot, because of course they have musicians in the band, people who can read music and, know how to arrange actual songs. And I never felt like those albums were less hip hop than a Mobb Deep record. I would listen to them at the same times with that is, or a Tribe Called Quest album that is basically all sample based, because at the end of the day, it's about the groove of the music and the complexity and the dopeness of the lyrics, so I mean, because you could have someone who doesn't have any samples, but if the lyrics are whack and the groove isn't there, then like, what am I really here for? So I've never discounted anybody who didn't use samples, but at the same time, like, I understand because samples come from the fact that like when hip hop first started, people were rhyming over the breaks, the break beats, which
Straight
eventually
break beats
became the samples that made these, hip hop records, if you will. But even though that was never the original intention, I don't lend more credence to one or the other, because if you're still within that spirit of hip hop, then I'm not going to say, oh, this ain't it because there's no sample here, or you took the shortcut, because there's some people who would feel like, oh, well, you took a shortcut because you already used a piece of music that was already, popping. They're, Stay With Me by, the Barges was used several times before, Puff and Biggie got a hold of it to make One More Chance, so,
Right.
Just because you are able to freak a loop one way, it doesn't mean that it's automatically going to become a hit. Puff Daddy was not the first person to use, Every Breath You Take by the Police, but he was able to freak it and make it a hit.
Huge record. Huge record.
And I know there are circumstances surrounding that, but like just because you take a popular loop, that doesn't automatically make it a hit. And just
and I think that's
my thing.
Perfect.
It goes so many ways with that.
Here's my thing on that. Like as a producer that prides myself on being able to do both very well, I'll tell anybody that. That's one of the Me and Lone have always been those guys. There are no limitations. I've always leaned on that as one of the things that separates me and my homies from a lot of people. There are no limitations when it comes to that. But at the same time, when you talk about Primo and you talk about Pete Rock, talk about producers like that, I look at DJ Quick, Battle Cat, and those guys, I look at them the exact same way. They don't sample a lot. You know what I'm saying? But they're still
organized noise.
Like if you think about it, they sampled, but be clear, like they're musicians. Like Organized Noise get down, like they get busy. You know what I'm saying? So Manny Fresh, he sampled some, Manny Fresh, a lot of them albums was no samples. Like he made a whole the whole culture of Cash Money not sampling a lot. Go ahead, Lone. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. But in Timbaland, back to the main point, Timbaland was the same way. Timbaland has a lot of original production. So does Pharrell. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Pharrell is a beast, man.
What's funny too though is those same kids that are saying that about these albums or tracks being sampled are listening to their favorite artists now that have sampled shit that we came up on. Megan Thee Stallion is soaring right now. That's their favorite out there.
Talk to him.
And she literally has 3 or 4 hip hop sampled shit that was hip hop.
Yeah.
Before it was hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of knowing and knowing your history without being so quick to want to pass judgment and cancel something that you don't even know about.
Nah, for sure. And one more thing is that there's also this understanding that sampling is like taking a loop of something, you know, that's known, and then like taking that loop and doing something. But sampling is anything from taking a vocal stab to back in the 90s when they would just take stabs. It's taking a snare drum from a break record. It's taking a kick, a hi-hat. Exactly. A bass note, turning it into an instrument. Like sampling is fundamental in hip hop in that way. But I think a lot of times we're thinking of sampling as like looping. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but even if you play here's the thing about what me and Mike talked about. Like even if we have something that's completely original, a lot of times what happens is if we're working on Section Leader stuff, he'll make a lick, he'll give it to me, and then maybe I might chop it up and move it around a little bit, or vice versa. You know, like we're sampling ourselves in a sense, but it's still original. But anyways.
Or he'll play over the top of something that I sent him, or vice versa,
right?
And it still might get rearranged. So the art form to that, man. The DJ Sample Beats said, I think it's did I say your name right? I'm sorry if I
Dick
did.
Sample Beats, yeah.
Dick Sample
Beats, yeah.
He says sampling is art. It is like it's a lot deeper than I think people really grasp. Well, like you have to really grasp the concept and really truly see that there's an art form to putting this together to make it sound like something. You have to understand chord progressions. You have to understand how music flows. There's a lot into it, man. It's easier than to just put the beat in there and do an 8-bar loop. It's a lot deeper than that. Shout out to partners real quick, Lone, but let's see if we can get our before we squeeze in our last topic, if you would, sir.
Yes, sir. Stick around. Check out our partners. They're great supporters of ours. And
we'd like to thank our partners for the New Old Heads podcast: No Bad Ideas Clothing Company, Coleman Dental, Printfinity, Indie CD and Vinyl, Sun King Brewery, and the hub for all things New Old Heads, bringingdowntheband.com. Remember, once you type Bringing Down the Band in the search bar on YouTube and the page populates, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. And as always, we thank you for your support. Now back to the show. Cooking. All right, y'all, we are back. Thank y'all for the support. Man, Dick Sample Beat says, I've been sampling since day one. He said, with new hardware. That gave my SP1200 away. Or S2400. That's what's up. He said adapt. I feel you, man. I'm not mad at that.
Got to. That's
what's up. MPC game is low, man. I'll be honest, brother. I cannot sit down in the MPC today and make a beat. I know how to make a MIDI controller and trigger it like one, but actually queuing up a beat in the MPC, I cannot do it. I need one of my homies to show me. Or SP. I can't do it. But one of those days I will I'll get in there and get busy. Let's see. All right, so Bow Wow. We're gonna close with Bow Wow. Jay Diff loves Bow Wow.
Yeah, me too.
So
Bow Wow hosted a party in Houston over the weekend. Apparently, after he left, there was a COVID spike, and the mayor, Sylvester Turner, kind of getting on. You know, Bow Wow is the face. It's not his party. He was hosting it, if you want to say, but.
Wasn't his media company though? Wasn't it like his Bow Wow? Wow Entertainment or something?
I don't know about Bow Wow, but we can go with that. So Bow Wow was hosting a party for Bow Wow Entertainment in Houston. And he really came out, was like the mayor trying to slander me because of the spikes and all that. And he's like, I had my mask on except for when I was talking, and I keep hand sanitizer with me. But they definitely had a spike in Houston. So my question to y'all was, do you think rappers are going to start paying attention to the backlash that's starting to happen with people in these parties? Because it's one thing for social media to be like, oh, look at y'all without your mask on and going through IG, but it's another thing when the mayor of a city as big as Houston comes out and it's like, fam, cut it out. Like we had a spark after, like we had a surge after you left. Like, do y'all think rappers will that make rappers stop and think about throwing these parties, or are they gonna be like Boosie out here in a wheelchair for COVID, throwing parties with Webby getting to that bag? Yeah, I think, man, because or we could just laugh at Bow Wow, whatever y'all want to do. I'll just open the floor up to that. Terry, I'm coming to you first. What you think?
I mean, anytime Boward Woward is in town, you got
Boward Woward.
Boward Woward.
Okay.
But nah, man. I mean, it's funny that they blamed it on him, and he definitely put it on, ran with it because he's definitely somebody that wants attention on him at all times. But there's a key player in here that was at another event that was called a super spreader, and that's Trey Songz. Trey Songz was at this event as well, along with Fabolous, I believe. So now they have the right to deny or agree to make these appearances.
Okay.
At the end of the day, they trying to get their bag, which is understandable. Yeah. But in the same token, you got to be responsible out here. Long story short, though, it's not the artist's fault that these owners of these clubs are letting these places get packed to capacity like this. And it may be because they need to pay the artist, but I mean, they knew that from the beginning. If you know that you're only supposed to have so many people in this club, and you just book three national acts to come to your party, and you got to fill it up in order to recoup and make a return on it, then that's on you. At the end of the day, the stars are up on stage, so they're keeping distance from people. I mean, I know they got to walk through to get to wherever they're going or whatnot, but they're sitting on top of the stage. You have the crowd, which is in danger. And everybody knows Texas, period, is a hot spot. They never really like quarantine like that. People have been going to Texas, Houston specifically, this whole time.
In Florida,
been going on.
Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia. I mean, you can't blame it on Boward Woward because the people in your town is getting fucking COVID.
Boward Woward.
It's not his fault.
I love Boward Woward.
It's not his fault.
Shout out to Boward Woward and Bow Wow 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 Productions, man. Ain't that a bitch? I love that, man. We giving him peas out here. Boward Woward for Bow Wow 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 Productions. Hey, Jay Moore, man, you out in the club, man. You know the routine. You are around it. Is Boward Woward? Does he have a point? Y'all leave me alone. I did what I was supposed to do, like Terry said, or where you at with this, man? Because that's big when the mayor comes out and calls you out for a whole city. It's a lot.
Look, if they're gonna give Shad Moss the money, then I can't be mad at him. But the thing is, that doesn't mean y'all have to go see him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you're mad at Bow Wow, but you're not mad at the people who are like, oh, let me go see Bow Wow. Like, I would hate for anybody to be on their deathbed and be like, I had to see Bow Wow one last time. You know what I'm saying? And then when you talk about like Fabolous, like, because they always want to put this on young people, and you talk about Fabolous, I'm like, look, anybody who really would leave the house to see Fabolous got to be at least 40 years old at this point. So like, this
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't wait a minute now. Wait.
Like, if you out here with the two-tone silky,
maybe 38.
wave cap
wait a minute, man.
Then you probably at least 41, 42 years old.
Jay Moore, wait a minute, man. Hold on. Wait.
I ain't going on that.
No Fabolous.
Hold up, dog. Hold on. Wait. We gotta change that age range. You can't do 40 and up for Fab, man. Not 40 and up.
Nope, we're gonna do that.
Man.
More, you got to at least bring it down to like 28, dog.
Going.
Like you can't go 40 too fast.
Like 28, you don't give a damn about no Fabolous. You wouldn't worry about no summertime shootout. I'm letting you know that right now.
This was Howard
You might know this because you listened to the Joe Budden podcast and he might have talked about it. But other than that, you're not thinking about no Fabolous.
35, dog. 35.
His first album came out 20 years ago. That's like
event.
That would be like if when I was.
How old is Bower Wow? Oh, we lost Jay Moore.
First outside. It is from.
Hold up. Whoa.
Wait a minute.
So I'm just saying, and I'll just be honest. As somebody who still gets my money, being outside,
that
like
paper.
I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted because like I need people to come out, but honestly, I don't invite my friends. It sounds really messed up. I have my mask on the whole time. I am consistently encouraging people to wear their mask, and when they come through, but like I completely understand why people my age stay at home, and I don't see people I know like that out and about in the club, because it's like, look, you have to be smart about this. But at the same time, I was like, this was initially when we went on the lockdown, we thought this was going to be 2 weeks, maybe a month. It's been a year. All right.
And counting. And counting.
And, well, you know, it's not even like
yeah.
And the thing is, once they let us back out in like July, honestly, they should have never if they wasn't gonna keep us inside for real that whole time and come through with some checks to make sure we stayed inside, then you're only gonna be able to do so much. Like,
true.
I understand why people get upset when they see these large gatherings, but you got to understand there's a whole service industry that is going to die and has been really on life support this entire time. And I like I said, I understand when people express concern, but I also am part of the hospitality, industry. And I'm like, look, I got to get my money one way or another, and I'm still not able to get it.
Hey,
you used to do. And so,
when you actually get love, you getting love in the chat. You get love in the chat because none better said Jay ain't lying. Waffle House Pimp said Jay Moore ain't lying. The Flood said Jay Moore telling the truth.
Y'all telling me all y'all is Bow Wow fans, and y'all risking everything.
I'm not saying it got to be about because I think Bow Wow is an easy target for whatever goofy shit that goes on in the world, whether it's a pandemic or not.
100%. 100%.
I'm just saying, like, everybody's like, oh, y'all should stay home. Y'all shouldn't do this. I was like, okay, well, you gonna help me pay these bills? Or help me with this, because the federal government didn't come through. You know what I'm saying? It took us forever to try to get that $600, and that's by the time we got it, it didn't mean nothing. And so, like, I understand where everybody's concern is, but you got to understand there are people who have to take the risk to get that money. And when I'm upset at the amount of people I see with no mask and not even trying. Because like I said, if you see any of the videos that I post when I'm promoting the events that I'm promoting, like I consistently am telling people, put on your mask, because I'm up in the DJ booth and I don't let nobody come next to me and hang out next to me. So I always feel safe. And like I stay up there the entire night. You can't come and say hello. You know what I'm saying? You can't do this, that, and the third. But like I see the rest of y'all. And I am in a certain level of fear for you because you're not taking care of yourselves. Like I got the hands.
I want to get the loan.
They play back.
Get the loan real quick.
Every 10 minutes they play back. Give me 50 feet.
I want to get the loan real quick because I haven't heard his thoughts on Bower Wow. So go ahead, man. Just the concept of
wow. So, if you watch the video from it, you'll notice if you just look in the crowd that like 4 people have a mask on, and it's a packed event. So it's like it's on the people themselves. It's like on the people themselves. It's also on the venues, I think, a little bit. I have been to concert events where they have had people patrolling, for lack of a better word, and made people keep their masks on at events and keep some distance and stuff like that. I don't know how they're doing dance clubs right now and stuff like that. I don't know how you do a dance club during a pandemic. I don't know how you do that.
Let me know how that works.
But at the same time, like I don't think you can put it 100% on Bow Wow. I think he was just the host and he was a part of it. Whether Wow Wow Entertainment was a part of it or not, I don't know. But it's on the people, man. It's on the people too. It's on everybody. It's on the venues. It's on the government. It's on the host. It's on everybody. You know, people are trying to survive, but at the same time, like, you don't have to go to the club, man. Like, if y'all just the only thing that I'll really say is like, stop infecting motherfuckers.
Popping.
Stop infecting motherfuckers. Be safe. You know,
be safe.
And
be smart.
And don't get mad at people when you do stupid shit. You know, like
yeah.
So
I think
OnlyFans is popping. Get your OnlyFans account. Show feet. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, you could do that and not get nobody sick. And you can show feet and not get nobody sick. Yeah, you can put them feet out there and not get nobody sick. Now, let's be clear.
Right.
Before we get out of here, I want to scroll up through the chat one more time. Waffle House Pimp said he was agreeing with you on the Fab comment. I think Nate Jeezy agreed with me. I didn't even read it. We said the same thing. 35 and up. Jay Moore, you out your mind. 35 and up.
I'm 37. I'm 37. Right. And I don't care about Fab.
Have a two-tone silky do-rag.
I'm 37. I don't care about Fab. I think I'm 39 years old and I love Fab. But
maybe
the age is 37 or 38. Maybe it's right around there.
I'm not about to risk. I'm not risking my health. I'm not risking my health for Ballard Woward, Fabolous, and Trey Songz.
I will agree with you there. I'm definitely not risking my health.
The thing is, Trey Songz had coronavirus and beat it.
Right.
And
remember he did it the last time.
That's what it is.
He was out there the last time. Where was that, in Ohio, when Trey Songz went through there?
Yeah.
When the numbers went up at that event. I think he's the super spreader, man. He might be the one that they need to get rid of.
Corey T said, question, y'all know anybody boxing with the boogeyman? I'm scared to answer that, so I'm not going to answer that because I know Corey T. Let's see, as my mama would say, people don't believe that meat greasy. You're right, Nate. They don't. Today.
That's very true.
He right on the money.
Until
with
they got
that.
high cholesterol. High cholesterol.
Talk to him. So, all right, man. We appreciate y'all in the chat. Let me see if something else is coming through the chat. Fab ain't that tight. None better. Cut it out now. Fab is a dope. And I don't know about
he nice, but
the shows in his 40s.
I ain't risking the
I don't know about that
for Fab. I ain't
doing that. But
I'm telling you, the age has got to be around 37, 38 because I don't give a shit about Fab, and I'm 37.
I tell you what, man. Y'all gonna stop disrespecting Fab out here, man. Go listen to them soul
shit
tapes.
About a lot of shit though, Lone. You don't give a shit about a lot of stuff.
But maybe it's the age thing. Who knows? Maybe I'm just right in that pocket. I'm in that pocket. You know?
You're not in that pocket. No, you're not in that. No, you're not. I'm not letting you get off of that. You're not in that pocket. And more talking about people that like he described people that was like. He said he was like, man, if you 47, then what you say 40? What was the number you threw out there? 40 up, 41 and up.
I'm 43. I'll be 44 in April. Like Fab was that. I was outside when Ghetto Fabulous came out because it came out the same time as the Blueprint. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
I just remember that time being in the club and Fabulous and Holla Back Youngin. Like if you was outside during that time, I get it. But once again, I'm well into my 40s. Like if you. Like I said, ain't no 28
you ain't that love and hip hop bag too.
With Fabulous.
Ain't Fab.
Them summertime shootouts though.
Bag, so the younger cats is on him. His baby mama is one of them Instagram star thought whatever you want to call her. I mean, she ain't out there handing out ass. But she's popular on there.
He did almost put it, he was whacked though. He almost put his hands on her out there out the van. That was
no,
whack.
He did put his hands on her. He did put his hands on her.
He was whack.
I mean,
he was whack for that. But in terms of Fab,
that's some 40 plus up rap shit right there.
I hate Lone. Oh, I hate
look, I saw that. The thing is, they giving a lot of smoke to Bow Wow, but Meek Mill was out there too, and
Meek
so was
too.
Terrence J. If you care about Terrence J.
I mean, I wasn't there.
Now we disrespecting Terrence J.
I mean, if you gonna give it to Bow Wow, give it to all these cats.
Yep.
Now we disrespecting Terrence
Bow Wow
J.
is an easy target.
Well, his video.
We get on Bow Wow because he's an easy target. He's somebody that's easy to shit on. Like, you know, but then if it was a video of Meek Mill, we'd be like, okay, whatever, you know. But like it's easy to get on Bow Wow because
said Shad
it's Bow Wow.
Moss.
But it ain't helped
what's
that
his
Shad.
name?
They ain't helped that
What's his
Shad
name?
was like they're
Kyrie
picking
just
on
got
him.
in trouble for being from partying with Drake. I mean, although it may have been.
Oh, that was fake though. That was fake though. They said it wasn't fake though. He was at his sister. Yeah, it was at his sister's birthday party.
I think part of it was part of this was too is that the video that did end up going popular and viral was Bow Wow's video. It wasn't any of the other ones. So,
well,
Waffle House Pimp said. Waffle House Pimp said he beat the brakes off Shawty and broke her front. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right about that, Waffle House. You're right. I feel like Waffle House said that like he said that mug like in a pimp voice, kind of like when he said it, like he beat the brakes off Shawty and broke her fronts out. Yeah, I feel like he had a pimp vibe when he said that. You know, he out there pimping throughout the Midwest. All right, man.
Okay, I'm just letting everybody in chat now room know. Don't act like Shorty Like Mine wasn't the joint. I still like that record. Fuck y'all.
Bow Wow got some hits, man.
Hey,
if they put him in the verses, he gonna surprise a bunch of people.
What's the joint with Sierra? I like that joint.
Who's he gonna battle?
Like you
was cold.
I don't know.
Who's he gonna battle? You gonna battle Sierra?
No, he'll
be clear now.
Let me hold you down. Bow Wow got hits.
Nah, he got hits. He got a good 20 of them, at least.
Hey, other than when his arms was like this in the video. Other than that, that song was straight. Yeah, Bow Wow got hits now. Bow Wow, he got some joints. Be clear.
He gonna surprise somebody in the verses. They gonna fuck around and get washed by Boward Woward, and they gonna be upset.
Kendall Mathis said, "Let's keep it a thou wow." Not E40. Well played. I see what you did there, sir. Let's keep it a thou wow. Well played. Ja Rule. Let's see. Bow Wow versus Ja Rule.
That's definitely a versus I have no interest in even knowing the results of.
Be clear though.
That's again, you don't care about a lot of stuff, man.
Nobody should care about Bow Wow.
That would be entertainment.
Nobody
should
be watch that.
Entertainment.
Pure entertainment. I will watch that. Yeah, I will watch that. That's pure entertainment. At the highest level. That's entertainment.
I want to see Ja Rule in 50
now.
Oh, you don't want to see. Don't do that, Jay Moore.
It's not really entertainment.
Memes all day. Boward Woward versus Ja Rule is memes all day long. Yeah. That's a good time.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that one. But
hey, at the end of the day, Boward Woward got more joints than people trying to give him credit for. I ain't saying he the coldest. He definitely can get you a strong 20. And then now who he's going against, that's something different. But
yeah, songs that were hot that we never want to hear again. Yeah, Bow Wow versus Ja Rule. Perfect.
No, it'll be Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy.
He is Smoke Soulja Boy.
I don't know.
Smoke Soulja Boy. So stop on that note, man. Stop, man. On that note, we got it. Loans. I don't know about Soulja Boy. Tells me it's the cue for it to go. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Bringing Down the Band Network on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and follow there, or the New Old Heads. I'm sorry, do both. Bringing Down the Band and the New Old Heads. Make sure you subscribe to both. Also, for Patreon, go to our Patreon for New Old Heads. Sign up for that. And if you got Amazon Prime, please use your free us. It's very easy. Like trying to spend old boys' money for Amazon, so it's not that hard. Sign up, give us a free subscription. We'll take care of you. Might make you an emoji. I don't know. Loan does.
Y'all still stick around for the post show. We'll give out some some gifted subs here too.
Definitely. So we appreciate y'all for rocking with us in the chat tonight. Chat was lit. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Alrighty. Peace.
You know what it is.